Hey everyone, today we are talking about the state that is nicknamed the Old Line State by General George Washington, famous for its blue crabs and crab cakes, Old Bay seasoning, and birthplace of the Star-Spangled Banner. That's right, we're talking about living in Maryland and the things you need to know right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh Ducoulombier. If you are interested in learning all things living in Maryland, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of all of our weekly videos that'll keep you updated on everything that you need to know about living in Maryland. If you do have any real estate questions, I am a local realtor here and would love to answer anything that you need real estate wise. My personal number is on your screen now, and feel free to reach out anytime. Let's jump right in. So maybe you're thinking of moving to Maryland, relocating out east, and you wanna learn about what it's like out here and what you can expect. So let's talk about what Marylanders love. I have never seen a state with more pride in their state flag than out here in Maryland. I'm a Southern California native, so I know firsthand that at least in California, we're not big on waving the state flag around in front of our house and seeing it everywhere. But you will here in Maryland, and you can't blame them. It's a great, awesome looking flag, so you're definitely going to see a ton of state pride here in Maryland. Marylanders are also huge professional sports fans, so you're going to see a ton of Ravens gear out here, a ton of Orioles gear. Cal Ripken Jr. hasn't played in years, but he's still a hero out here, still a legend for sure. And the Ravens have won 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years. Not many cities can say that, so that's definitely a source of a lot of pride here in the area. College sports are also huge out here, whether it's the University of Maryland, the Terps, Loyola Maryland, or Johns Hopkins. It's the energy at these events is second to none. So if you are a sports fan, you're definitely going to be in luck out here in Maryland because we love our sports out here. And I did want to remind everyone that back in 2018, feels like forever ago, the first time a number 16 seed beat a number 1, which was UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, upset Virginia in the first game of the NCAA tournament. And they didn't just beat them, they beat them by 20. I think it was 75-55, something like that. It was crazy. I just happened to be out that night with my wife. We don't go out a ton, but we happened to be in a bar that night hanging out, and everyone's looking around just wondering, okay, when's Virginia going on their run? This can't last forever. And then the second half started, and the place just turned, like, it was like everybody was best friends. We were just all hanging out and just hoping that they could hang on. And I think they came to like within 10, but Virginia just never was able to make that final push. And that was an awesome moment here for Maryland as well. Marylanders love their beer. There's one in particular, Natty Boh, is pretty much everyone drinks that out here. 90% of its sales happen right here in Maryland, so it's pretty much a Maryland beer. Also, when you come out here, you're gonna have to try Heavy Seas Brewery. It's located on the outskirts of Baltimore, but that's also a Maryland brewery here that has awesome variety of different kinds of beers. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're gonna find a ton of breweries out here. We even got several wineries, especially as you head into a little bit of Western Maryland, into Frederick and out that way. If you're looking for things to do, if you like to get outdoors, you're gonna be in luck out here in Maryland. Maryland is actually nicknamed Little America because it's got just a little bit of everything. So we've got beaches, rivers, wetlands on the eastern shore, which is home to hundreds of migratory birds and wildlife. The Chesapeake Bay, and even some mountains, nothing crazy like out west, but we do have Deep Creek is really popular, which is up in the mountains. So if you like to ski and get outdoor in the winters, That's about a 2.5 hour drive from Baltimore. And then in the summer, going to Ocean City is definitely a staple out here in the area, which is just about a 3.5 hour drive depending on the traffic, out to Ocean City. I will tell you, coming from the West Coast, the beaches are definitely a lot different out here. Ocean City just gets so crowded. There's just so many people everywhere. The boardwalk is awesome. It's got a ton of things to do, which is great. If you're looking for something a little more quieter, you can head just north into Delaware's beaches. Like Bethany is just north, and it gets a lot quieter and more laid back there. But Ocean City is definitely beautiful. And also the Outer Banks in North Carolina is only about 4 to 4.5 hours away, depending on traffic as well. And it's a lot quieter down there as well than it is in Ocean City. Ocean City is definitely feels more like a destination area. There's just the beaches do get very crowded, but it's definitely a fun environment as well, because there's just so much more to do, and the nightlife in Ocean City definitely has a lot more there than it does in the other areas. There are several state parks throughout the state of Maryland, so if you like to get out and hike, go fishing, hunting, camping, you're definitely going to love all of the state parks that we have here in Maryland. And several of them are right here in the heart of Central Maryland, in Baltimore County, Howard County, Anne Arundel County, Montgomery County, so you don't have to have long drives to access these. These are state parks that are 15, 20, 30 minutes from where a lot of the population is in Central Maryland, which is basically from Baltimore and down to DC and in that corridor there. All right, let's talk cost of living here in the state of Maryland. Unfortunately, we are a fairly high tax state, so that's something you want to be prepared for depending on where you're coming from. We have a 6% sales tax here in Maryland, and if you like to drink at all, we do have a 9% alcoholic beverage tax, so you can expect to see that if you're going to the liquor stores. Another thing that you want to know, because this caught me off guard at first, I've been here in Maryland for 6 years now. My wife is a local here in Baltimore County, and the alcohol is not sold in stores, so all alcohol is sold in liquor stores. So I was used to walking into a Costco or a Walmart and just getting all my groceries and my Bud Light and everything right there at one-stop shop. Out here, unfortunately, everything's separated, so you're going to have to make those separate trips. So that's something that you want to be prepared for as well. We do have here in Maryland both state and local income tax. So state income tax, depending on your income, is going to range from 2.5% to 5.75%, somewhere in that range. And then you also pay income tax on through the county that you live in, so that's something that you want to be prepared for. So I reside here in Howard County. Howard County, along with Montgomery County, are two of the highest counties here in the state. So we pay 3.2% on top of our state income tax on all earned income. So depending on, and every county in Maryland pays something. So the bottom, like on the Eastern Shore and Western Maryland, some of the lower counties are going to be in the 2.25% range. And then everything in Central Maryland is probably between 2.5% and 3.2%. And then a lot of people don't even realize they pay it because it's paid in conjunction with your state income tax. So it's something that just to be aware of if you're coming here from a different state, something that you want to know about. If you are considering purchasing a home out here in Maryland, the average home sale price here is $375,000. It's going to range a ton though, depending on the area. So for example, in Baltimore City, the average home sales price is about $170,000. But in Rockville, which is located in Montgomery County, which essentially is really greater DC, the average home sale jumps up to about $615,000. So there's a huge difference depending on location. So it's really going to depend on exactly where you're at In regards to property taxes, we pay around 1.25% of the sales price. So for example, if you are purchasing a $500,000 home, you can expect to pay about $6,200 to $6,500 a year in property taxes. And there are several cities throughout the state, such as the city of Westminster, Frederick City, Columbia, that have additional city taxes. So that's something that you just want to pay attention to depending on the area, to see if there's anything on top of that. But 1.25% is going to give you a good rough idea of what property taxes are going to run here in the state of Maryland. So what do you get for living in such an expensive state? Well, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, Maryland is the wealthiest state in America with an average household income of $82,000 a year. With Maryland bordering and being so close to Washington, D.C., it's got a ton of job opportunity in the technology, aerospace, and defense industries. When it comes to other costs that you can expect, as far as when comparing to a national average, Maryland is only 5% greater when it comes to the average cost of groceries. So hopefully your groceries bill will not change at all, or hopefully go down depending on where you're coming from. The cost of healthcare is actually 10% below the national average, and housing is 30% higher than the national average here in Maryland. And the cost of a gallon of gas today in late October of 2020 is right around $2.25 a gallon. All right, everyone, those are my thoughts on living in Maryland. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions or any topics you'd like me to cover about living here in the state of Maryland, please feel free to reach out or comment below, and I would love to make a video about that for you. Please remember to subscribe if you want to be notified of our weekly videos about what it's like to live in Maryland. And we'll see you at the next video.